Lux your way with the Lux Cravings boxes from Taco Bell. There's the classic $5 box, the indulgent $7 box, and a whole new obsession in the $9 box, the Flamin' Hot Grilled Cheese Burrito. Try the Lux Cravings boxes at Taco Bell today.
The biggest contest we've ever seen.
Seriously, what's the guarantee?
They're still talking about it.
I think it's time to put the rumors to rest.
Showtime!
$30 million.
$30 million?
$30 million? $30 million?
That's $30 million guaranteed. 3 contests, multiple ways to win, no rate. Entry starting at $1,000. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere.
Check out the all-new Blue and Orange store at the Boise State Hall of Fame. The Blue and Orange store has your best game day gear. We're talking jerseys, hats, bumper stickers, car flags, more than 4,000 hats on the hat wall. If you want the best Boise State gear, make sure you check out the Blue and Orange store online at theblueandorangestore.com or the all-new Blue and Orange store down at the Boise State Allen Noble Hall of Fame.
Sunny days call for Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Made with real iced tea and real vodka. Refreshing and goes down smooth. Let the good times cruise with Sun Cruiser.
How's your day going?
Going good, thank you. Yeah.
When I want Boise State to win, I trust Coach Rice to lead the Broncos to victory.
And when I want the best painting and garage floor coating, I trust rowpaint.com to get that job done right.
Hey Bronco Nation, this is Shannon Keegren with Boise State Softball. Summer in Idaho is the best time of year. Rodeos, camping trips, and the hikes that end in views you'll never forget. At Lithia Ford of Boise, we're here to get you there. With a team known for incredible customer service, the best new and pre-owned inventory, and a commitment to making your experience easy, friendly, and fast. But here's the best part. Every purchase here helps support Boise State athletics through their NIL partnerships and athletic sponsorships. See you soon at Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Bronco Nation News Live is the only daily show that talks nothing but Boise State sports. And we do it with you. Give us your comments or questions in the ICCU YouTube chat. Or leave us a voicemail on the Signature Roofing voice inbox at speakpipe.com/BNN. BNN broadcasts come from the Sun Cruiser Studios. Sunny days call for Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Made with real iced tea and real vodka. It's refreshingly smooth and easy to drink. Crack open a Sun Cruiser and let the good times cruise. Bronco Nation News is presented by our title sponsor, Lithia Ford of Boise, and our major sponsors, Taco Bell, Idaho Central Credit Union, RoadPaint.com, and the Blue and Orange Store. At Lithia Ford of Boise, we're proud to stand with Boise State athletics. Through our NIL marketing partnerships, we're investing in the future of student athletes. Lithia Ford of Boise, here to get you there, wherever that may be. Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho. Broadcasting from the Sun Cruiser Studios, here's BJ Rains with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
What's up, Bronco Nation? Happy Wednesday to you here at Bronco Nation News at bronconationnews.com. My name is BJ Rains. We're in the Sun Cruiser Studios. Make sure you pick up a Sun Cruiser if you're out golfing, if you're barbecuing, hanging out. Always a good time. Your local gas station or grocery store. The iced tea vodkas, lemonade vodkas, all those great flavors. And, of course, our title sponsors. You just heard there, Lithia Ford of Boise. There would be no program. You would not be watching this for free on YouTube right now if not for Jim Sturk, Lithia Ford of Boise. Make sure you get out and support them, and all of our sponsors that we'll tell you about throughout the show with that new or pre-owned vehicle. Make sure you check out Lithia Ford of Boise. We are 1 week away, folks. Fall camp, Boise State football, first practice next Wednesday, a week from right now. We'll be doing our show live down from the practice field at Boise State. Football season is back. We're a week away, and we are super pumped about that. We're going to continue our countdown today, talking about the 25 storylines, question marks facing the Boise State football team. We're going to talk about the tight ends today, and a very special guest, Bill Connelly, ESPN college football writer, the SP Plus rankings. Bill Connelly is going to join us a little later in the show as well. So going to talk about what the analytics and what the computers say about Boise State football this year, and kind of what should be expected going into the season based off of what the numbers say. So Bill Connelly is going to join us here. Don't forget, we're still taking those submissions for the 40 in 40. We got an entry today from Bob Schuler, but 40 years of the blue turf. They'll be celebrating that against Memphis in the home opener, the 40th anniversary of the blue turf. I know everyone's got memories and things out there. Every day on the show, we're playing a memory, and then when you send one in, you get entered to win that shadow box. It's like a $350 deal. It's pretty cool. Signed by Gene Blameyer. It was his idea back in 1986 to put the blue turf in. He signed it, and it includes an actual piece of that 1986 blue turf. So you can win that if you submit an entry in terms of your greatest memory from 40 years of the blue turf. We've had some great ones already, and we'd love to hear from you guys. You can just email me, rains@bronconationnews.com, and we will get to that later in the show as well. But a lot going on. We appreciate all of you guys for jumping on and joining us today, as always, in the ICCU YouTube chat. You can get your questions, your comments, and always love the discussion in the ICCU YouTube chat. Idaho Central Credit Union online, iccu.com. But if you can see right here, we're going to start with a little non-football discussion because I'm wearing my awesome 2026 Boise Open hat, and the Albertsons Boise Open presented by Chevron. I got to get the exact sponsorship correct when our guest comes on here. But Jeff Sanders, CEO Jeff Sanders Entertainment, nice enough to pop on the show and talk to us today. There he is. Jeff, I know we're like knee-deep into football season, but we got some cool stuff going on with some Boise State ties to the Boise Open, so we thought we'd have you on today for a few minutes. We appreciate you jumping on. How you doing?
Great, buddy. Thanks for having me. Really appreciate it.
We were out there last about a month or so ago for the media event. Got this awesome hat, so I appreciate you for that. And was great to be out there and hear from you and test out the course. And it's always a fun time when it's comes around for the now 37th event of this tournament. And I know there's a Boise State tie we're going to get to in a minute with one of your exemptions, but what this tournament does and means for the Boise area year after year, it's a staple here in the summer months in Boise out there at Hillcrest Country Club. I know you're excited for year 37.
Really excited. 37 years. It's hard to believe, BJ. I mean, here we are coming and doing it again. I'm excited like you are for this year to have Tyler Aldridge in the field. We'll chat about that in a minute, like you said. But before that, I know you're from St. Louis, and what do you think about Nelly on Thursday night?
Don't get me started, man. I gotta put the pressure on you here live for like the backstage passes or something. I don't know, but I
done.
That would be amazing. Nelly's my guy, man. That was like literally growing up in high school days in St. Louis, 2000, 2004, early 2000s, late 90s. The Country Grammar album was like,
yeah.
I mean, I'm almost embarrassed because people that know me are going to see me, and I'm 41 now, and I'm going to be acting like I'm 17 again out there at the at the concert. So I literally. I've been to a couple of the other ones. I've obviously covered the event and media and things, but when I saw that one go on sale, I've never purchased tickets faster than I did the day that I saw Nelly was going to be here.
Well, the rumor has you're going to have a jersey. You're going to wear a jersey to the ball game.
I got all kinds of hats. I got the old. I can maybe go with the old. I think Nelly might like the old school Cardinals hat here. I got all kinds of stuff. I went one time. He came out right after COVID to like the state fair or something out there over by now they have the soccer stadium there. And it was whatever kind of fair that was, or county fair, I don't know. But it was like right after COVID, and we couldn't find childcare. So literally, my wife stayed home, and I went by myself to the county fair, and I'm wearing a mask, and I probably was way too many people, and I shouldn't have been out there. But I was just in my happy place for an hour listening to Nelly like 5 years ago, and so now my wife's going to come. We're going to try to get a couple friends to come, and And yeah,
Awesome.
all the concerts are great. But when I saw Nelly, I know you try to get different genres and stuff. But as a St. Louis guy, yeah, you had me sold when I heard Nelly was coming.
Well, not a bad day, right? You start off watching Tyler Aldridge make a bunch of birdies, a former BSU guy, and Troy Merritt is planning to play. So those two guys, maybe a lot of people don't realize Troy Merritt won twice on the PGA Tour, played for the Broncos, and Tyler won once on the Korn Ferry, played for the Broncos. So there's two guys that we think are going to be in the field. And then after that, you're going to, jump on the stage probably with your jersey and get up there with Nelly, do your
I
thing.
don't know about that.
You better get some big, some nice gold going. You get some gold going.
I don't know about jumping up on stage, but I'm going to have a good time no matter what. And speaking of good time, and I know it's got an official name. I don't know what it is. I apologize. But the 17th hole there, or which hole is it there? The 15th hole where you can hang out and you can where the
16th hole. Yeah, the par 5.
Yes.
That's where I think last year there were so many eagles and birdies made that Michelob Ultra's never sold that many beers in 4 days. It was crazy.
They're discounted, right? If there's a birdie or something for 5 minutes or everyone runs up there. I did that one year. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, they stack up. People get arms around them. But if there's 5 minutes, if there's an eagle or a birdie, boom, everybody's racing up there to get their beers. But no, it's going to be awesome. We're looking forward to it. I mean, it's golf by day, as you know, music by night. So we've got a full day and only $35. And this year, if you're a Boise State athletics fan, which obviously many people out there watching this right now are, you can go to the albertsonsboiseopen.com website and you can hit a button and all your ticket sales money will go to the Boise State athletics. So that's the first time I've ever done that.
Yeah, that's really cool. And that's one thing I've always thought is a cool deal about this tournament, that you got, 100% of the ticket revenue, I believe, goes out to local charities and programs and things like that. You guys fund the tournament on the sponsorship dollars and things. But to have Boise State athletics now involved as a official option there, that folks can, again, $35, you get to watch the golf. And you obviously, rattled off the list at the press conference last month. But, I mean, you may not know all the names now, but it's pretty clear here in a couple years, a lot of these folks are going to be stars, and you're going to be able to say you saw them for $35, and then you get a concert included as well.
Well, like Wyndham Clark, in 18, won 2 U.S. Open. Scotty Scheffler in 19, like we talked about at Media Day. I mean, you don't know who they are unless you really follow college golf really close, because a lot of these kids go right from college golf through the Korn Ferry, through the Boise Open to the Tour. But they end up getting there, and then you can say, hey, I walked the fairways and I watched them play, which is cool. And so that's one of the big benefits of this whole thing.
We lost you for a second, Jeff. Where'd
we go here?
Uh-oh.
Let's see if we can get you back. I don't know, buddy.
I can hear you.
Yeah, let's see. I don't know. We might have a technical difficulty here. This could turn into a no. Let's see here.
We had you, and then you press something. I
don't know what happened, buddy.
That's all right. I don't know if it's easier to kind of go back out and come back in, maybe, if you knew how to do it originally.
Yeah, let's see. Maybe we can pull that off. Let me try that move. This could go anywhere, pal. This could go anywhere.
No worries. No worries at all. But
there you are.
There you are.
All right.
Now we got you back.
I pressed the right button.
All right. So tell us just a little more about the tournament and just the excitement level here. And we mentioned, all the different things. I know there's 2 of the days are already sold out, but I know the Thursday tickets, there still are some available. And then on Sunday, you do some cool things for the kids as well. What would just kind of be the 60-second sales pitch on what you got going and why folks should come out?
Well, Thursday you can come out and see John Daly Jr., John's son play, hits it a mile, great player, and Tyler for sure. When I say that, I hope they all play 4 rounds, but we know they're going to play at least 2 rounds. So Thursday, come on out, watch those guys play. It's amazing how good they are, and then go to the Nelly concert. And then on Sunday, it's Junior Day, my favorite day. When I was 15 years old, PGA, I drove from Portland, Oregon down to Silverado and Napa because that was the closest PGA Tour event to Portland. I remember going down there when I was 16. I sat on the driving range behind the pros, watched them hit balls for a couple of days. That got me excited about golf, got me motivated, it gave me the motivation to go work hard and see if I could do something with golf. And it turned out, golf scholarship and all that later. But I want to see the kids come out on Sunday. It's only $10 and it goes to charity. And come on out, watch the final round, see who's going to get crowned the champion. Take lessons from the PGA pros on the range. It's a great day for anybody, really. I don't care if you never played before, never even held on to a golf club before. it's a great way to get involved and get started with the game of golf. And if you're a really good player, it's also great. Get a lesson, go out and watch the next Scotty Scheffler, the next Wyndham Clark. I mean, Sunday's a great day. And at 4:30 or so on Sunday afternoon, we crown the champion on the 18th green. And it's to be there and see that electricity in the air. Like 16, 17, 18, you could be 2 shots back or 2 shots ahead. Who knows what's going to happen? I mean, Eagles are flying around on 16. We've seen hole-in-ones on 17. We've seen some heartbreak on 18 up the hill. So, the concert, again, Thursday night, Nelly, go to the Albertsons Boise Open and hit the Boise State Athletics button. Send your money right to the school, the athletic department, and go to the show. And then Sunday, bring your kids out and get them involved. Have them check it out. And I think it's going to be awesome. It's going to be a great year again. This is 37, like you said. We're going to go at least 39. You have to tug on Albertsons to maybe go 40. But they're amazing, by the way. Obviously, the Albertsons Stadium. I mean, Albertsons, this doesn't happen without Albertsons. It just doesn't. I'm on my 10th CEO, and I'm still tricking them. It's hard to believe, But no, so it's great. In all seriousness, Albertsons steps up big time every year and makes this tournament what it is. We're proud to be number 1 on this tour for charitable giving over the years. We want to win, just like Boise State wants to win. We want to win. We want to be the best tournament in the eyes of our fans that there is, on any tour for that matter. And I think that the golf by day, music by night, golfchella, as we call it, is the answer because it gives you more fun in the same day, super affordable, So it's exciting. It really is. And I'm proud of it. We have an amazing number of people who put their heart and soul into it, 1,000 volunteers. You know what it takes to run one game at the Albertsons Stadium. How many people have to come together to pull off just one game, let alone an entire season of home games? So, yeah, the event business is a great business. It takes a lot of people to make it happen. And we're grateful. We're grateful to be in Boise, Idaho.
Well, it's 2 weeks away. Hard to believe. It's only 2 weeks away here. Again, August 13th to 16th. And people saying, okay, this is a Boise State show. Why are we talking about the Boise Open? But we mentioned the connections. First of all, the ticket sales. You can take your money, your $35 ticket fee, and go straight to the Boise State Athletics Department with that $35 by booking your ticket for Thursday or Sunday right there on your website. As he said, just click the drop down. Boise State is the beneficiary. It goes to them. Or if you want to pick another local charity or other options, you have that as well. But as he said, a couple of former Boise State golfers in the field, or hopefully at least, a second one in the field. But Tyler Aldridge, I know that maybe John Daly got some of the headlines, John Daly's son, and it was cool meeting him out there and watching him tee off for us on hole. We watched him he teed off for us, I think, on 18 coming up the hill, and after he shot, we just put our drivers back in the bag. We didn't need to tee off on that one. That was fun seeing him tee off, and I know that's a cool deal to have him involved. And I was playing with a buddy of mine that works at Circa Resort and Casino down in Las Vegas and was up here playing with me, and he has some connections and works down there, and he actually exchanged cards with John, and they're already going to take care of John for a trip down to Las Vegas at some point with his friends because he said he had never been to Las Vegas before. So look out at the stadium swim pool coming up when John Daly's S2 is around there. But Tyler Aldridge, born in Caldwell, Idaho, lives in Nampa, 2-time state champion in high school, went to Boise State, BSU golf team, born and raised right here in the Treasure Valley. Like I said, played, one high school state champion, played at Boise State, and goes on to be a professional golfer, Korn Ferry Tour, dabbled on the PGA Tour there for more than a decade, 2008 to 2018, has played in this event before, but he gets to come back on a sponsor's exemption. Pretty cool that Tyler Aldridge is going to be back playing.
It is. Again, Albertsons gets 2 spots. We get a couple of hundred letters from great players that just graduated from college. Maybe they were an All-American, and they want to come play in the Albertsons Boise Open at the end of the season when the spotlight is on this golf tournament in a big, big way as these guys go and try to get a PGA Tour card. But the thought was, hey, who offers their entire prize money to charity? The answer is nobody. Never heard of it in 40 years running golf events. And Tyler graciously said, hey, if I win the tournament or if I finish last and make some money, it's going to go to charity, which is fantastic. And, so that was really cool. But also the guy can play. I mean, he drove it off 10, pin high left, 315, 20 yards that hole. He's pin high left, with a tee ball on a par 4. So he can play. He's got a kind of a flair about him. He's confident. I like that. And he he said, "Hey, I'm ready to play. I'm not just showing up here and going to tee it up. I want to win the golf tournament." And he has won before. And the golf ball has no idea how old you are. No idea. So at the end of the day, I'm kind of thinking this guy might go good. And, he's fired up. And if we get a bunch of Broncos out there cheering for him, that always helps. That always helps. And it's not that often that you have somebody who's from Boise playing in the tournament. A lot of times you go to a tournament and there's nobody from that town, from that city playing in the tournament. They're all from out of town, great players, but they don't have any local ties whatsoever. So this is unique with him in the field on Thursday and Friday and hopefully Saturday, Sunday. And he has a great week. You mentioned Junior, John Daly II. We have a picture of him where Senior's holding, he's kicking field goals at the stadium when he's 7 or 8 years old, the last time he was in Boise, with John Senior holding for him. And he's drilling these things right through the uprights from about 10 yards. I'll send you the picture. It's an unbelievable picture. But he's
Did they let his dad have a cigar and a beer on the blue turf down
Well,
there?
I was going to say, if his dad's been to Vegas. Okay, we know that. I'm kind of hoping maybe Junior does kind of detours around Vegas, in his
think
career.
It's still after your tournament, so you're good for a couple weeks. Yeah.
Yeah. I would prefer. I've got more John Daly stories than you can imagine. But I like his son to take a little different path, if that's possible. But you never know. John might show up. He's so happy. He loves Boise too. He came 3 times, played in the tournament, did a couple exhibitions. So he's got a connection to Boise. And he's excited that his son gets to play in a professional golf tournament for prize money in Boise.
Yeah. We had a comment here. That's a pretty slick hat. I need one that isn't white, though, for the times when I throw it on the ground and kick it. Yeah, probably not. I didn't put that in there, but that would have been perfect for me there. But it's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it. 2 weeks away. And again, Thursday and Sunday, you still have tickets available. What's that website one more time?
AlbertsonsBoiseOpen.com.
AlbertsonsBoiseOpen.com. Simple enough. And if you come on Thursday, maybe I'll see you down there and I'll buy you a beer or something if you want to come hang out on Thursday and for Nelly. And I'll definitely be out there in the afternoon for hole 16 there and try to have some. Or what hole is that? 16, right? Yeah, 16.
Yeah, you want to get behind the 16th green. You want to get there early. These guys start coming through around 10 a.m. and the beers start flying and the birdies do too. So it's a lot of fun on 16, 17, and 18. That's kind of the 3 holes where all the action is. In a golf tournament, it's always the final 3, but at our tournament especially, it's the final 3.
And I know the other 2 days are sold out, but you got nice concerts those nights also.
Yeah, Counting Crows, that's more my program, rock and roll. And then Hardy's amazing, fastest sellout ever, 24 hours. Couldn't believe it. I mean, boom, sold out. And but no, we've got, as you said, different genres for different music lovers. And a lot of times, somebody will come out to watch, to go to a concert, get there at 2:00. They'll come out, they've never been to a golf course before, and they'll go, wow, this is amazing. So we've got some people who are used to just come for the golf or for the music, and now they come for both, and that's cool.
All right, well, 2 weeks away. Cannot wait. 2 weeks from tomorrow night, it'll kick off for the first round, and then tomorrow night it'll be in 2 weeks. Nelly, and then some other great concerts, great events. You got the kids' day on Sunday as well for the final round. So appreciate you, Jeff, for jumping on. Thanks a lot, and looking forward to getting out there in a couple weeks and seeing some great music and some great golf, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
One promise. I want to see you in the jersey with some big gold chains hanging out.
I can't do the chains. I might be able to bust some Cardinal stuff out, but I don't know if I can go for the chains. We'll see. But we'll be out there, and we're looking forward to it, Jeff. We appreciate it, and best of luck with everything, and I hope to see you out there.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it. See you soon.
Jeff Sanders, appreciate him for joining us, and looking forward to again, 2 weeks, the Boise Open, and going to be a lot of fun. And yeah, some former Boise State golfers out there. Get out there and support them and get rowdy and have some fun, and that'll be really cool to see Tyler Aldridge get the sponsors exemption there. And he said Troy Merritt looking like he could be in the field as well. So appreciate Jeff for coming on and Ryan Fowler and the whole crew there at the Albertsons Boise Open presented from Chevron for helping us out. And it's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to that. I know maybe that wasn't the oh, okay, it's not Boise State, but there's some Boise State ties there, and they get some of the money from the ticket sales, and we're a week away from fall camp and not a ton's going on. So I said, yeah, let's get Jeff on and talk golf for a little bit. So those of you that were only wanting football talk, I apologize for the first 20 minutes, I guess, of the show. But we will get to the football talk in a minute. Bill Connelly, ESPN, he does the SPM Plus rankings. He talked to Nathan Carroll and a really great interview that we're going to play here in just a minute. So if you want what the SP Plus rankings say about Boise State, Bill Connelly, we're going to get to those in just a second. But I do want to thank Lithia Ford of Boise. The fall kickoff sale is going on now. Lithia Ford of Boise online, lithiafordboise.com. New or pre-owned vehicles, Spencer Danielson, Jeremiah Dickey, a lot of players like Roger Carry on here. Get on out to Lithia Ford of Boise. They've got Lithia Ford of Boise vehicles. You can as well, lithiafordboise.com. Hey, if you're going to get out to Roaring Springs, 2 Coca-Cola products can save you up to $32 on your tickets. Just go to Jackson's or Extra Mile by Jackson's and buy 2 Coca-Cola products, and you get a voucher for up to $32 from our friends at Roaring Springs. And don't forget that 99-cent bigger fountain drink available anytime using that Let's Go Rewards app. Hey, Element Fencing, elementfencing.com. Check them out, 631-2790, elementfencing.com. 25 plus years in the fencing business for our folks out there at Element Fencing, and we appreciate Brady, the owner. They're going to be sponsoring our Defensive Player of the Year this fall. So decks, pergolas, cedar, wrought iron, vinyl, they can do it all, folks. Element Fencing. Check them out online at elementfencing.com. And Ridley's Family Markets as well, shopridleys.com. Check out Ridley's Family Markets, shopridleys.com. 13 locations in the state of Idaho, many other surrounding states as well. You can check them out at shopridleys.com. And rowpaint.com, all your painting needs. If you're looking for some painting projects, whether you're touching up a wall, whether you want siding outside touched up, repainting your whole house, whether you want the concrete coatings, they got you covered, folks. All your painting needs, make sure you hit up the folks at rowpaint.com. All right, Vlad says Jeff Sanders seems like a pretty cool guy. Yeah, no, I enjoyed Jeff coming on. Appreciate him for doing that. And it was cool to hear that Boise State Athletics can get some money from the tournament, and then also that there's going to be 2 former Boise State golfers in the field. So pretty cool. And that's the Albertsons Boise Open presented by Chevron in 2 weeks. And they just emailed me the link. So during this Bill Connelly interview, I'll put the link in the chat here if you want to buy the tickets that go directly to supporting Boise State Athletics. But Bill Connelly, SP Plus, ESPN, a college football writer. He's got this cool analytical system, kind of like the Ken Palm of college football. And he caught up with our man, Nathan Carroll. We're going to get to that in a minute, but I do want to play our 40 and 40 video today. Now, Bob, I love you. Bob Schuler, appreciate you for sending this in, but we got to stop sending the vertical videos, folks. Turn the phone horizontal, record yourself. It only takes, the exact same amount of time. Doesn't look as good when it's vertical. So, Bob, I love you, but turn your camera sideways next time. But again, we want your entries. Email me, rains@bronconationnews.com. 40 years of memories in 40 seconds. The Blue Turf, it's the 40th anniversary, as you all know. And collectbsu.com is selling the official pieces of the Blue Turf. All kinds of merchandise. You can buy a piece of the goalpost that came down a couple of years ago. And again, if you send us a submission, and I need to check the email, but I think Bob's the last one I've gotten ready to go. So if you want to have yours played here tomorrow or Friday, send it in today. rains@bronconationnews.com. Email me the video of you 40 seconds or less giving us your favorite memory of 40 years of the Blue Turf, and we'll throw you in the pot. And on the last day, we'll draw a name to give away a shadow box signed by Gene Blameyer with an official piece of the 1986 Blue Turf, a $350 value. You can also go purchase those at collectbsu.com right now. So 40 and 40, here's today's memory from the great Bob Schuler.
BJ, Bob Schuler here. Favorite memory on the Blue, September 3rd, 2009. Favorite play, Billy Wynn tackling LeGarrette Blount for a 4-yard loss and safety in the second quarter. And the fact that the vaunted Ducks of Chip Kelly did not get a first down until 6 minutes and 35 seconds to go in the third quarter. Only regret on that game was the punch, because the national pennants talked more about the punch than the fact we dominated the Ducks. Out.
There he is. Appreciate Bob for that video there. Yeah, the famous LeGarrette Blount punch, but that wasn't his memory. It was earlier in the game. Boise State's defense dominating the Ducks, winning the game, and then the unfortunate punch afterwards, which did take away a lot of the talk of the game and the win there. But Bob, appreciate you for sending that in. And we haven't really doubled up too much. We've had one or two maybe of the Ashton Genty game, but a lot of these, you guys are going to random games, to random years, to cool personal memories, and I love it. So keep them coming. The more obscure memory, the more obscure game, the better. Send us your memories, and again, 40 seconds or less, and we will play that on Bronco Nation News on an upcoming episode. So, all right, Bill Connelly, SP Plus, ESPN. What does he think of the Broncos? Let's hear from Bill Connelly and our man Nathan Carroll.
All right, Bronco Nation News, welcome back. I'm Nathan Carroll here with Bill Connelly, one of the forefathers, if not the forefather of college football analytics. His SP Plus metric has been one of the best metrics out there for sort of predictive college football power rankings. He does a lot of really good work with ESPN, just breaking down the numbers, and also does some soccer stuff, which is a soccer guy I love. But today we'll be diving into the football stuff in particular. Bill, how you doing today?
Pretty good. How about you?
I'm doing well. Can't complain. So want to dive into Boise State, the analytics behind them, and talk a little bit of Pac-12 and G6 at large today. But, just to start off, for those who don't know, SP Plus, I think you say it's a tempo and schedule adjusted power ranking, right? So help you figure out, okay, some teams play slower than others, some faster than others. How good are these teams forward facing? Boise State last year, a little bit of a down year in terms of some of the metrics, and certainly in the record, right? 9-5 for Boise State fans is not always up to expectation, we'll say. Heading into 2026, where do you or SP Plus sort of view the Broncos compared to recent seasons?
Well, I mean, just the combination of recent history, long time recent history, I guess, and pretty solid returning production numbers compared to most of the G6 at this point. It does feel like, Boise State right now is in pretty good shape. They're projected 38th overall. Nobody else in the Pac-12's in the top 70. There's a cluster there in the 70s and 80s, and I figure one of those teams is going to turn out to be pretty good. But in terms of just what we know and what we can expect, it'll probably Boise State versus somebody in the Pac-12 race here. They're kind of the known quantity, obviously.
You mentioned the returning production piece of it. I believe Boise State number one in returning production in the Pac-12. Where does SP Plus and your numbers view as a strength in particular on the returning production side of things with this Bronco team?
Well, defense mostly. A good amount, obviously, with the secondary losing a decent amount. We'll see about that. But getting in Jericho Washington from Kennesaw State, that's a G6 starter, a very, very good G6 starter. Plus, another productive defensive back in Tillman from South Dakota. That gives you kind of returning production. It was really returning and incoming production combined. And so, if you can, in the areas where you got hit pretty hard, if you can bring in known production, you get half credit for FCS production. So that's still going to be pretty good. Then, the defensive line mostly returns, the linebackers mostly return. Everything else looks pretty good there. And on offense, it looks good. Just returning your quarterback alone means you're in pretty good shape. Obviously, the receiving core took a hit, and we'll see how much of an issue that is. But the offensive line has solid number of last year's starts returning. And honestly, just in the G6, the bar is really low for returning production now with the way things tend to operate. And so even with the secondary, even with the receiving core, you're still way ahead of the curve in terms of known quantities.
Yeah, Boise State really only losing two contributors to the transfer portal. You've got Ty Benefield, who leaves to go to LSU, which, we've mentioned it, but it sounded like the staff thought he was going pro regardless. So they already had his contingency plan built in. And then you lose Chris Marshall to Arkansas, which, Chris Marshall, up and down year, both on and off the field last year. So certainly kind of unprecedented continuity with Boise State. Talk a little bit. I know you've wrote about it in the past, but the group of six and just getting plundered by these big conferences, how big of a deal it is for Boise State to have the level of continuity that they do.
Yeah, The overall, the bar for returning production is down anyway. Like Notre Dame's first in the country at 80%, whereas 80%, 3 years ago would have ranked like 15th or something like that. So 10th or 15th. So I mean, that kind of landscape has changed, and it's really, I don't think teams are going to get huge benefit from what they return so much as just don't get crushed. Don't lose your entire two deep, which happened to quite a number of schools or very close to it. So I mean, I'm trying to remember right offhand. The national averages at the P4 level for returning production are probably in the high 50s, if I remember right. And it's in the 40s for the G6 now. It's a really tough deal, but Boise State being where they are, let's see, they're I thought I had it pulled up. There we go. Boise State is 45th in returning production, 57%. That's kind of like the average for a P4 team. It's a pretty good place to be in this landscape. And so, in the numbers, Boise State always seems to get the benefit of the doubt in the numbers, and it's extreme this year with the Pac-12.
Yeah. And I think there's certainly some things that'll help them out in terms of just an analytic, just the analytic side of it. Cause I know that your numbers can't really account for injury that well. Right. And like you lose Maddox Madsen for 4 games last year. Right. Yeah. The numbers are going to look a little bit better if he's playing as opposed to Max Cutforth in those games. But I did want to talk about, you put out an article sometime, I want to say it was in February, talking about luck. Particularly mentioned turnover luck and injury luck. Boise, and I don't know if this is something you've tinkered with a ton in the past or if this is something new that you're sort of exploring, but you had an injury luck metric and you had Boise State ranked 121st in sort of your injury luck metric with just the amount of guys who were missing, 2-3 games here and there. And certainly for Bronco Nation, it felt that way with guys racking up injury. But my question with that is that something that historically, is that pretty sticky? Is that, okay, a team is playing guys too much, not rotating enough, so they see a lot of injuries? Or is that, there is just a variance factor where maybe this year they'll be one of the healthier teams in college football and bounce back in the injury department?
Yeah, I think as a whole, the extremes tell a story. This is kind of new data. I started playing with this last year a little bit. I just basically, instead of injury luck, I just call it lineup consistency because it's hard we're not going to know every single reason why this guy missed this game or anything like that. It's going to be really hard, especially for 138 teams. So, but I wanted to fiddle with the idea of lineup consistency. Like if you started 11 offensive linemen, that is, for whatever reason, that is universally awful, and it probably won't happen again the next year. And so, when you kind of look through how things played out for Boise State, they had extreme lineup inconsistency, starting at the quarterback position on down, and typically the ones at the high and low ends are going to see some level of reversal, kind of regression to the mean the next year. So the fact that, they were that far, 121st, that probably tells you a story. And it probably says that, the lineup's probably going to be a little more stable this year. And when you combine that with good experience and all that, that probably says good things.
Yeah, and I think in general, it's why so many Bronco fans are excited about this year's team because, yes, you lose a lot, but a lot of the pieces that you lose, you got to see a little bit of the depth behind them, right? We talked about the secondary earlier, right? You lose Amarion McCoy, Jeremiah Irby, who are 2 all Pac-12 guys, but you saw Sherrod Smith play really well last year. I mean, I think had 1 catch allowed against Denzel Boston in the bowl game. You mentioned Jericho Washington earlier, who might not even win a starting job, but was all Conference USA 2 years ago. So I think that's part of, it's the curse and the joy of having all those injuries is you guys get hurt. You don't have the year you want, but you do start to see and get excited about some of the depth going forward. On the flip side of that, though, you also included the turnover portion in there. And seems like Boise State may have had some positive turnover luck last year. You don't look at it just as, oh, did you have a lot of turnovers and was it luck? You have an expected turnover margin compared to turnover margin. Tell us a little bit about what goes into that, your expected turnover margin, and why you may have seen Boise State got a little bit lucky in the turnover department last year.
Yeah, simply, I mean, if you just look at the leaders in the bottom of the turnover margin in a given year, you get the same idea in terms of regression to the mean. But I did want to take it a little further than that. I look at, a team that fumbles a lot versus a team that never fumbles. There is a little bit of coaching and quality in that. It's just, you're still over time going to recover 50% of all fumbles. And in a more blurry concept, there's kind of this ratio of interceptions to pass breakups that tends to gravitate towards like 1 interception to 4 breakups. Some years, like you might, that ratio could get really skewed, and the next year it'll probably gravitate towards that 1 to 4 thing again. So yeah, I basically look at the total number of passes defended, total fumbles, all that stuff, and come up with what kind of an expected turnover margin should have been, and you compare that to the reality. You get a better idea than simple turnover margin as to who might have been a little too fortunate. Boise State was probably in the range where it washes out. There are only a few teams that really were kind of a turnover or more per game ahead of where they should have been based on expected turnovers. Boise was like at plus 0.5 or something like that. So there was a little bit in there, and maybe they get a little less fortunate, but it's probably in the safe range. All the kind of the luck factors that I look at, it really is just about the outliers more than anything else. Top 10 or 20, bottom 10 or 20, that kind of thing. And I think Boise State just missed out on that.
Yeah, I've got it pulled up, 0.5 per game, like you had mentioned. So not Southern Miss, which was 1.2 per game.
Right. Because turnovers are worth on average, and just in terms of field position gained and lost, turnovers are worth 4 or 5 points. So you can basically say that Southern Miss gained a touchdown per game based on good fortune that they probably won't get this year. And of course, they lost their entire 2 deep as well.
Right. Well, and on that vein, Boise State plays Memphis this year, so I'm sure Boise State fans will be glad to hear, hey, maybe last year's Southern Miss team that's in some ways just kind of imported to Memphis this year, maybe a little bit luckier than some of the record and metrics may have suggested. But taking a look at the Pac-12 as a whole now, you mentioned earlier Boise State, good chunk ahead of the rest of the pack. There is that cluster of teams below them. I mean, it seems like SP Plus pretty bullish on the Broncos, like you said, to get to the conference championship game. But then for this Bronco team, the goal is not just win a conference championship; it's get to the playoff, be the top group of 6 team. Where do your numbers have Boise State's chances of doing that, and who are their primary contenders potentially going to the playoff from the group of 6?
Yeah, I mean, it has to start with Boise State. It started with Boise State last year. It didn't happen, obviously. So, I mean, just the season goes where it goes. But in terms of what we know about these teams, it does feel like Boise State is comfortably the most proven entity at that level. I think, the major competition, you could definitely say that UNLV is going to be up there. It feels like they're in a good shape. Wish they were playing Boise State this year. That'd be a lot of fun. I know Boise State fans are probably pretty excited about how things turned out. I still kind of wish we'd have that little tease we got of a 2014 Mountain West with relegation and tears and all that. That was right up my alley. It didn't happen. But anyway, it does feel like that, Boise State's first on the list. I kind of feel like UNLV's second. And then it's kind of a grab bag. I do think that somebody's going to emerge. There are a lot of teams in the American Conference that have lots of mid to high 3-star athletes and good athleticism overall, but so many of them got hit so hard by attrition that it's hard to know in advance who that best team from that bunch is going to be. And if we simply look at like the team that has the best chance of getting to say 11-1 overall from an SP Plus perspective, it's UNLV, James Madison, and Boise State at the top. And after that, it'll be interesting to see who emerges from the American. But yeah, Boise State and UNLV is where I'd start the list.
And I think Bronco Nation probably excited to have a year off from UNLV. They've played them 5 times in 3 seasons. The amount of preview articles I've done on UNLV at this point, I feel like I know their roster as well as Boise State's. But the American will be interesting to see. It feels like 2 conferences heading different directions, right? Like obviously the Mountain West and Pac-12 kind of lumping together, right? You feel really good about the coaches on the West Coast right now with Jason Eck and Dan Mullen, obviously Spencer Danielson, but I really like Sean Lewis at San Diego State. Yep. I'm a big fan of Matt Entz at Fresno State. Whereas the American, I think 4 top teams all lost their coaches. It's pretty much Navy, who Navy and ECU, I think, are like the 2 big ones who held on to their coaches. So be interesting to see how that conference ends up shaking out this year. And I mean, you know how this goes. Typically what will happen is one of those big programs that have more NIL money will hit on their coaching hire. And
yeah, I mean, that's it is about, I say the word known a lot. Like there are going to be surprises. And I do think one of those American teams is, that's another little qualm I have. Like, we're going to call the all-American team is what we're really going with here.
Yeah.
But anyway, one of those teams, there are enough teams with upside and, new coaches, and maybe they'll hit just right on their transfers. So there's going to be a really good team coming out of the American. It's just hard to see in advance which one that's going to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no doubt about it. Last thing I wanted to mention, I know Boise State last year, it seemed like when they were playing teams in that 70 or lower range, they were blowing them out, exceeding expectations. And then conversely, when they were getting some of those top 40 teams, right, South Florida, Washington, Notre Dame, felt like they were coming in sort of below what you would expect for a team of their caliber. How does sort of the analytics deal with that? Is that something that can be sticky year over year, or is that just, hey, it's football, it's, odd shaped ball, sometimes bounces get weird and you get groupings like this?
Yeah, I think Boise last year, and maybe it was just the instability in the lineup itself, that maybe it's as simple as that and everything gets improves in this regard. But last season, the Boise State offense was 2 all or nothing. They were 91st in my success rate measure. They were 44th in yards per successful play. I kind of break things out in that regard in terms of efficiency and explosiveness. So, the big plays were there. The run game had really exciting moments, had at least with Chris Marshall, one really nice big play receiver, but the efficiency levels were, just weren't where they needed to be. The run game was all or nothing. Obviously, even with Madsen, under 60% completion rate. So I think what happens in that case is when you're playing inferior defenses, great, you're going to make enough big plays that it won't matter that you're inconsistent, but then you run up against a team that can actually stop those big plays and suddenly you're going 3 and out a ton and things fall apart pretty quickly. So combine that with the fact that the defense was extremely all or nothing as well, 10th in success rate allowed, but 131st in yards allowed per successful play. You can see the same thing happening where it's fine. You're not going to get torched by lesser teams, but then you play Notre Dame, you're going to get torched constantly. So just felt like the big play, they were relying on big plays, but they were also hit hard by big plays in against good teams, and the ratio just wasn't right. So I think getting back to the 24 levels of efficiency is going to help this team a lot. And again, maybe with this more stable lineup, it fixes itself.
Yeah. I think with that said, Ashton Genty's not walking through that door and creating.
It's still really good running back core, among the best in the G6. But obviously, Genty was kind of special in that regard.
Yeah, there's not many Gentys that come through the Group of 6 level. Yeah, the running back room in general, very bullish on. Obviously, you've got Sire Gaines and Dylan Riley coming back, but they brought in Harry Stewart from Kansas and Jules Goff from Pitt, who were contributors at those Power 4 programs. Like, it's something that we've talked about looking at this running back room. It's like, how are they going to get carries for all these guys? This room looks loaded. But Bill, appreciate you coming on. Appreciate you talking Boise State. I guess any final thoughts that you have for Boise State fans who are looking forward to the season and trying to build out their expectations on what this team could be?
I think, the schedule is pretty manageable. Obviously, if you can keep Oregon to 10 or 14 points, that's going to help a lot, because I do hate how much the committee leans specifically on, the power conference teams you manage to schedule 5 years ahead of time. It's a terrible way to go about things. And well, I'm down on the committee as a whole, but regardless, keep the Oregon game respectable and then just, hit the accelerator from there. Obviously handle Memphis. And I do think they're going to be in pretty good shape. It's pretty easy to see, even if the American does produce some good teams, it could very easily be where that just means that they produce a really good 3-loss champion because everybody beat each other up. So just handle your business, and that might be enough. That should be enough to stay in the lead.
Yeah. And I know there's some concerns about that with Pac-12 fans, is this team doesn't have, or this conference, doesn't have a bottom, right? 0 teams lower than 100th, whereas every other Group of 6 conference does. So you lose your gimmies, right?
Right.
But Bill, appreciate you coming on. Appreciate you talking with Bronco Nation and talking with me. We'll be reading all of your stuff that you put out for ESPN and following along throughout the year. And excited to get into the season and have some new stuff to write about and new stuff to talk about.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it, Bill.
Yep.
I appreciate Bill Connelly for jumping on. Appreciate Nathan Carroll for that interview there. Also appreciate Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. If you're looking for a new banking experience, you may like your bank, folks. You may be a long time with your bank. You don't want to mess with changing. I'm telling you get so much out of it. You really need to. And you're supporting a company that is now on board as a Boise State sponsor, Learfield. You see their logo around the stadium. They've got NIL deals now, Maddox Madsen as well. So ICCU.com. Check them out. Make the switch today. TacoBellWorks.com, the SON Management Group, the Nicolason family. We saw the $2.5 million donation yesterday. We'll talk about that in a minute. But Taco Bell, they gave $1 million a couple weeks ago, the SON Management Group, the Nicolason family. So return the favor, folks. Head out to Taco Bell for lunch or dinner today. New menu, new renovated restaurants there, and it's not your old Taco Bell. So get in there and check out some great options and food from Taco Bell and support them and thank them for that $1 million donation they recently gave to Boise State Athletics. Hey, the Blue and Orange Store, you can get the banana ball gear for Friday. Baseball on the Blue. They're selling some new shirts you can get. You want some other gear for football season, the Blue and Orange Store has you covered. They got the location at the mall. They got the location there at the Allen Noble Hall of Fame. They're going to have some new kiosks and things in the north end zone and all around the stadium. The Blue and Orange Store, again, online, theblueandorangestore.com. You can order anywhere in the world. And we appreciate their support of Bronco Nation News, longtime sponsor, the Blue and Orange Store, the officially licensed Boise State merchandise. Get it at the Blue and Orange Store and theblueandorangestore.com. Matt Boucher Real Estate, number one ranked realtor in the Northwest. The Raines family, folks, we bought our home using Matt. We sold our home using Matt, and it was tremendous both ways. He got us top dollar and got us every credit he could, and we just really appreciate Matt for getting us in our dream home, and he can do the same for you. Matt was over at the house a couple weeks ago and just loving it. So Matt Boucher, again, check him out, BoucherRealEstate.com, 252-9877, big supporter of Bronco Nation News, and hopefully you will return the favor for your next home purchase or sale and use Matt Boucher and Boucher Real Estate. Hey, Signature Roofing, online at mysignatureroofing.com. mysignatureroofing.com, covering our community for more than 2 decades, one roof at a time, whether it's a completely new roof, whether it's a re-roof, a repair, an estimate. Hey, they got you covered. Signature Roofing, again, mysignatureroofing.com. All your roofing needs. Check out our friends at Signature Roofing. And if you need a beverage, check out Sun Cruiser. Appreciate Sun Cruiser for their support of Bronco Nation News. And whether it's the iced tea vodkas, the lemonade vodkas, so many great flavors. Check out a Sun Cruiser and let the good times cruise. Appreciate our man. There we go. Appreciate our man, Bill Connelly, for coming on. Will they cancel Banana Ball because of the smoke? I don't think so, but I also saw some forecasts where the smoke's supposed to get a little better, I believe, by the weekend. I believe tonight going into tomorrow, the next few days, the wind pattern is supposed to change, and I think I saw something where it's going to get a little better. I mean, they had the Boise Hawks game last night, so if it gets super bad, way worse than it has been, I think it could be an option. I know they moved the Goo Goo Dolls concert from the outside at the Nampa, Idaho Center Theater to the inside of the arena. So, I mean, you can't really move Banana Ball. We're actually going to be down there today for the tour of the North End Zone. So I'm going to try to get some photos of the field and try to talk to Nathan Burke about that. But I would guess with all that goes into it and the production that they really would not want to do that. So we'll see. I'm leaning towards no, but it just depends what how bad it is and what the weather does the next few days. But hopefully not. We got Boise State covers the spread. Don't expect to win. Better to be pleasantly surprised. Yeah, and if the spread's 24.5. That's 45-21, and you get a Boise State cover. 45-21 is a Boise State cover, and that really is all you're hoping for in that game is just don't get obliterated, don't get crushed, keep it close, don't be an embarrassing, 40-point loss. And I don't know if you guys saw or not, I know Mike Prater retweeted it, but how about Brad Nessler, one of the top college football announcers out there for CBS, long time, did the SEC game there on CBS. Brad Nessler, the top CBS crew, will be on the call for the game against Oregon. So Brad Nessler, and maybe we'll get that soundbite of him talking about the game, but Brad Nessler will be on the call for Boise State and Oregon, and that's the top CBS crew, and that's a nationally televised CBS game. So that's going to be a pretty good opportunity for Boise State. And yeah, you just want to try to try to keep it close, cover the spread, and make it look respectable, and then just take care of business the rest of the way. So looking forward to that. But I got to get down to Boise State. We got the media tour of the North End Zone. Boise State just put some photos out. It looks unbelievable. Cannot wait to get down there. They're going to show the media the new North End Zone, the completed North End Zone project. It'll be open for the first time on Friday for Banana Ball, and looking forward to getting there for that. Hopefully, weather permitting with the smoke. But hey, we'll get down there. We'll get some photos. We'll get some video. Go subscribe. 50% off. BroncoNationNews.com. 1 week from right now, we'll be reporting live from the Boise State practice field. So if you want practice reports, what we're seeing, our observations, we're going to have daily practice reports behind the paywall. We got recruiting stories. We got analytical pieces. We got columns. We got news. One-stop shop, folks, for your Boise State coverage. What we believe is the best Boise State coverage out there, and it's 50% off right now if you go subscribe at BroncoNationNews.com. So get ready for the football season. Subscribe now. You don't have to worry about it till next year. Half off if you just do that one-time payment right now and just take care of it for the year. So appreciate you guys that already have. Appreciate all of you that continue to support the sponsors. This is a free show, folks. So return the favor, support the sponsors, subscribe, and help us out. And we're looking forward to the coverage this year. We're going to activate that Starlink today, I think, and have that ready to go. We may even do Friday's show down from the field for Banana Ball. So looking forward to that. And then getting into fall camp and a lot of live shows down from the practice field starting next week. So appreciate you guys. Have a great rest of your day. Again, follow us on social media. Tons of coverage coming from the North End Zone tour here in a little bit. And we'll get down there and tour that and get you some photos and video, and looking forward to seeing that. And then Johnny will join me tomorrow. I believe Jeremiah Dickey is going to join us tomorrow as well. Boise State Athletic Director Jeremiah Dickey. Get your questions in now. I want to ask him about those jersey patches. We're seeing a lot of schools announcing that. What's Boise State's plan on the jersey patch? Some other topics for Jeremiah Dickey. That'll be tomorrow morning on the show. We'll have Nathan Burke on Friday talking North End Zone grand opening and Banana Ball. So a lot of cool things coming the next couple of days on the show. Go subscribe. Go support the sponsors. Hit the like and the subscribe button here on the way out the door, folks, and appreciate you. We'll talk to you later. Bronco Nation News Live. Don't forget, send in that 40 for 40 video, Reigns at BroncoNationNews.com. 40 seconds or less, your favorite memories of the Blue Turf. We need a good one to play tomorrow, so send it in, and we'll talk to you later. Bronco Nation News, Bronco Nation News.